Did you know some vegetables are better eaten cooked? Some are better eaten raw? Right now, we're going to discuss which ones are which. Now, all vegetables, I would say, have benefits. I would rather you get them in whatever way helps you the most, but there is benefits based on the vegetable. We're going to break down like a dozen of them.
Which vegetable is the one to eat? Which vegetable is the best? The one you eat. Isn't that what they say about working out?
That's some really sound advice right there.
As you were saying.
Benefits of raw foods. Cooking can destroy some of the enzymes that are, in these. And so there are people that are really big on just like everything raw, right? But it does unlock, especially for like the really fibrous foods. We're going to reveal which ones are better which. From a raw perspective, right? They can be harder to digest sometimes when they are in that raw form. Mm-hmm. So cooking them can help you break down the fibrousness of it. And then if you have a thyroid condition, some of the kales can release goitrogens, and goitrogens can interrupt the thyroid a bit, so you're better off lightly steaming some of them. So kind of different angles to look at some of these foods here. Now, benefits of cooking, you unlock minerals a lot of times. However, you can also destroy some of the vitamins. Right. So it's this balance, and that's what we're going to reveal here for you. And it can, obviously, like I said, cooking them, break down those fibers, you're going to eat them a little bit better. Sometimes it just tastes better as well for some people, right? Just to get the vegetables in better. What about canned? Well, we're not really going through canned. We're going fresh. We're not going frozen. We're not going canned, or we're going cooked. Now, obviously, if you're cooking those, you're putting them in the can. Over time, they begin to lose some of their nutrients, some of the chemicals that can come with those. Freezing them, you're still better off getting nutrients in, but you are going to lose some when you do freeze it, and then you're going to have to heat it to unfreeze it. So you're kind of getting, a double whammy there a little bit, but vegetables are a good idea to get in. So raw or cooked? Let's go.
Ready?
First up, asparagus. Really good for the kidneys to flush out toxins. You can really smell it on the way out for sure. Plentiful in antioxidants, though. Really like that. And it's really fibrous. So,
raw
survey says cooked. Cooked's going to be better. Going to break down some of those fibers when you do that. You're also going to release more antioxidants when you do cook it. Careful not to wrap that up into tin foil, so you're leaching aluminum foil into that. And cook it with fat, a coconut oil or an avocado oil, and you will release even more of those antioxidants. Cooked, out of the gates, number one. Broccoli, your favorite.
My favorite.
You like it either direction.
Raw or cooked.
Survey says both! I violated the rules on this one. Both!
Oh my
It's just too good. It's such a nutritious vegetable. It is loaded with vitamin C. There's more vitamin C in that thing than in orange.
Oh, I knew I loved you.
Right? They're so good. National Cancer Institute showed that if you steam it, right, it releases more of the vitamin E that is involved with it.
Okay.
So that's a super good antioxidant. And if you are sensitive to its like indigestive effects, like you're eating it raw, could make you more gassy, steaming it might be a better route. But raw, another study out of the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry, what makes those things, I know, geeking out on this stuff, people who consumed raw broccoli absorbed a lot more of the sulforaphane in it. And that is very good antioxidant. So better than when it was cooked. You got more of that beneficial phytochemical. So both for that one. I'm not going to do that for all of them, but for that one, it's just like get the broccoli in. Next up, zucchini.
I'm kind of terrified for what you're going to say about this one. I'm not going to lie.
That?
Well, because I feel like anytime I do use zucchini, it's cooked, whether it's like grilling or zucchini boats. I can make any recipe into a zucchini boat, like a pizza boat, a fiesta boat, a pesto boat. So I have a feeling.
Raw.
I know, I knew it.
But it's good. Have you ever eaten one raw?
I mean, maybe when I was back in the day with like a ranch dip or something. You're going to take a bite of this.
No, you're going to.
I'm not going to.
Mm-hmm. Try it. Have you ever done it?
If I get food in my teeth.
It's kind of a unique flavor.
Doesn't, yeah. Mild.
Can you just imagine people walking around like bananas? Hey, what's up, Bill? How's work going today? Eating it like an apple. But you can!
Okay.
And they're good for you.
Okay, raw.
Similar amounts of nutrition profile as cooked zucchini, okay? So if you do cook it, you're still getting a decent amount. But when you eat it raw, you're gonna get more vitamin A out of it. You're gonna get more vitamin C out of it. It's gonna reduce those when you do cook it. So it just looks like our daughter just went after that.
That, and she probably will. Once she gives permission to start doing this with any of these, she'll just start taking bites out of anything. This next one, I hope that I'm right on my guess on this. Spinach.
Spinach. Survey
My
says.
guess is going to be raw.
Your guess is raw?
Yeah.
What do you guys guess? What do you think? Spinach, cooked, or raw? Cooked?
Oh, really?
Cooked?
Man, I
Yeah.
eat so much raw, like between salads and smoothies and...
A lot of nutrients in it, a lot of benefits to it, but you do release some extra minerals. You are going to reduce maybe a little bit some of the vitamins that go on with it, but vitamin A, B2, B6, vitamin C, vitamin E, vitamin K, calcium, iron, there's protein in there, there's fiber, there's zinc, so many nutrients.
All in this little leaf.
In this little leaf, yep.
That's cute. Man, okay, so we got to cook.
But if you
More.
want to get more out of the minerals, which is a big reason why I recommend a lot of people having spinach, whether it's the calcium that's involved with them, the iron that's involved. So if you're anemic, you're trying to support bone health, then I would advise cooking it to release more of those minerals. And you can usually make up the vitamins a lot of other places. See, cooking it, usually vitamins are going to go down a little bit, but minerals are going to go up. Okay? So I would recommend going with calcium and iron. So cook it. You can increase that.
All right. Next.
Mushrooms. Both.
Oh, you
I
did
did
it.
it.
Again.
There's so many good properties. I mean, just so alive in the way that mushrooms process the way that they process the nutrients around them and in the soils. So, yes, both. For these, both.
I mean, who would have known?
I know.
You love a raw mushroom with some dip. He dips it in like a homemade ranch type of dip, or even Primal Kitchen has that ranch dip now.
I'll eat them straight up.
You love it.
Copper, folate, niacin, potassium. These a lot of minerals that help the heart. They help the immune system, fluid balance, muscles, nerves, and the plant kingdom, right, is kind of the furthest away from us. The fungi is in between, and then the animal kingdom, obviously what we're in. So the fungus is actually more close to our DNA than a plant would be. So the qualities of that, when you do eat this, it's more lined up. We can absorb more of it. So you can get a lot more nutrients through these. 2/3 of a cup of sliced portobellos, right, which we got here, contains the same amount of potassium as a medium-sized banana. No sugar, a lot of health benefits that come along with it.
And no GMO.
So when you do cook them, it does unlock a lot more antioxidants. So that's why I'm like, go ahead and cook them or go ahead and eat them straight up because you're going to get a lot of those minerals and vitamins. Both.
Who knew?
Sweet potatoes.
Take a bite of this.
Cook them.
How you doing today, Bill?
You got to break that down and unleash it. How you doing today, Bill? So they're delicious when they're cooked, right? So you're going to get them in a lot more, especially since they have a lot of fiber in it. You're going to break down that fiber a little bit more so you can absorb the nutrients and get the benefits out of it and make them a lot easier to digest. Cook them. Kale. What you think? Cooked?
Well, I'm going to go with spinach.
Or
I'm going to go with cooked.
Raw. Raw. Why?
Why?
Higher contents of B vitamins. So when you cook them, it's going to break down those lot of B vitamins in there. Okay. You can maybe do the kale chip recipe. That's fantastic that you have, by the way. But if you can juice this, really good idea. It's so simple to do. You could easily mix it with a collagen powder.
That's great.
But juicing that, putting that into a smoothie, very easy to do. That would be the way that I would take that in because you're probably not just like You could do a kale salad. Vitamin C you're going to get in that. Minerals, you might release a few more minerals when you do cook it, but you're going to get more vitamin A and vitamin C out of it, the B vitamins out of it when you do have it raw.
That's great. Throw it in a smoothie or something. Another tip with kale is if you're doing a salad, if you don't love doing just a spinach salad, you can throw some kale, spinach, and romaine and get a good mix in there if you like that. But that's a good way to sneak in some good kale. Mm-hmm. How about these puppies?
Bell peppers. Survey says cooked lightly.
Oh.
Oh.
I was going to say cooked, I think.
International Journal of Plant Research found that cooking, they did it on the green bell peppers, actually has special benefits. With the study, they found that it helps you process the bile salts in your digestive system when you do cook it. So helps to have some detoxing effects in that regard, helps to break down fats. So if you do struggle, maybe you don't have a gallbladder, try putting in some lightly sauteed green peppers.
You could add that to so many recipes, lightly. It's one of the last things I always add to it. If I make a recipe, I will add peppers last.
But those would be linked then to lowering cholesterol, helping out your heart, also heart disease, cancers. And when it's cooked, you're going to get more of those benefits. Now, if you do eat them raw, especially the red ones, the yellow ones, you are going to be releasing a lot more of the vitamin A and the vitamin C. So it's like you can't go wrong with these. But interesting takes on the slant that I know you can go both ways, a lot of times. So,
all right. Well, what do we have left?
Let's do the onion.
You're not taking a bite of this. I feel
what
like
you think?
I feel like you
want to cook it.
I feel if yes. I have a feeling it's not the most nutritious.
Why would you want to cook it? When you cook it,
people love red onions raw.
You're going to decrease the amount of allicin in it. And that is antimicrobial, antifungal. It helps curb your hunger, prevents cancer.
Really?
Promotes cardiovascular health, reduces high blood pressure. You get more of it when you eat it raw.
Wow.
Go ahead, just like an apple.
No, thank you.
No, it's not
I'll
bad.
pass on that one.
Oh, fine.
No, I do not want to smell that. You would take a bite of this like an apple, wouldn't you?
I'm just dedicated to the show.
Well, I'm dedicated to smelling your breath later.
So, you're in.
Sorry.
You're in.
Sorry.
For life. If you do cook them, obviously you're still going to get some of the nutrients, but raw is where you're really going to unlock it. Also, one of my favorite bioflavonoids, quercetin. Onions are higher in those, and so you can include both red and yellow onions to give you that dose. So yellow ones, red ones, high in quercetin. Quercetin's really good for the immune system. It's anti-inflammatory. I love it for that. Antibacterial, antifungal. Helps you fight off all sorts of nasty viruses, including the common cold. So that's why I advise, if you can mix it in, like guacamole is a good way to do it, into a salad is a good way to do it. That's where you can really get it raw. You're not going to eat it like an apple, but
I think it could be one of those things that I could get used to if I slowly
just adding a little bit as a topper or as a and it doesn't take much to really get a good dose of quercetin.
They say it tastes good raw. Tell me about these
carrots. Both ways, I love them.
You're not gonna say both.
Cooked. They're delicious raw. I love them raw, but you get more vitamin and mineral content when you do cook them. 2008 report showed that, it was in the Journal of Agricultural and Food Chemistry again, found that cooking carrots increased antioxidant levels by 14%.
This is your favorite cooked vegetable too, and I never cook them. So good to know.
My mom always did it. You lay those on the bottom underneath a roast, set the roast on top of it. So you're getting like the goodness of the roast and the broth with the carrots. And so we'll do that occasionally around like Thanksgiving or something. That's why she just did that so often. So there you go. Cauliflower.
Cauliflower.
I say cauliflower. Cauliflower. I just remove the L. Cauliflower. Cauliflower ear. Us wrestlers up in Iowa, we call it cauliflower. Cauliflower
I'm going to
ear.
go with cooked.
Cooked, you would be correct. Provides more vitamins and minerals when you eat it cooked. It also releases a lot more antioxidants. This is higher in DIM, cruciferous vegetables. Going to be good for your hormones, men and women. Okay? And then finally, a tomato. You have a tomato? Oh, you do. Nice. What do you think? Raw or cooked?
Raw.
Hated them when I was a kid, raw. I refused. That was the one food I was like, don't put it on my plate. And mom and dad would always put it on my plate. That was the one. Asparagus and this. When I was a kid, I just... I couldn't handle it.
Don't say that in front of our kids because
But
our kids
now I
don't
love
eat
them.
it.
Salt, pepper on those. However, the better way to eat them is cooked.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy, huh? Lycopene
Man.
is got a lot of benefits for your prostate. That's a good one, men. But lycopene is a cancer-fighting antioxidant.
Really?
Yeah,
And
especially
it's
prostate
unlocked
cancers.
cancer?
Yep. But cooking the tomato boosts the antioxidant activity of lycopene
Wow.
when you cook it, so you get a little bit more benefit. Now, if you overheat it, then you're going to break it down too much. But you want to break down the cell wall of it just a little bit. It's got thick cell walls, that thick skin
I gotta
around
figure
it.
out how I can sneak this in.
I remember in biochemistry classes, we actually took tomatoes thinly sliced them, and then we looked through the microscope because you could see their cell walls so defined. It was easy for us as we were, novices at getting to understand looking at cells underneath the microscope, but we would use tomato. And so you can see them. So you've got to kind of get through that. Cooking it a little bit will help to do that, and then you'll absorb better
Interesting.
a lot of the nutrients because the cell walls are broken down. That's according to Cornell University, and coming straight from the guy that got the doctorate. So there it is. Of course.
I mean, when I was a nurse, I don't think that I told anyone to eat any of these. So.
They're still fantastic eating them, all of these in a raw form. But there is some benefits from cooking some of these.
Wow.
If you didn't know, now you know. If you need a place to get started, there's a resource for a book below to help you to really make food simple and start understanding how you can change the lifestyle. But subscribe to the channel. We'll keep giving you ways to make health simple. And if you liked this video, share it with a friend or a family member.